Alice died. Or Alice runs.
Is this working?
Well, the other case where you have two things, like you give something to someone else, I had considered that one beforehand. And that one is Alice is giving to Bob the money. So the way this works is give to Bob is the action. Give to Bob is the verb, but it's broken up into these sub pieces where like give is a verb. You know, to is like, you see what this is? Like, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's like this becomes a, because if the left and right side of the tree, like if the children of the tree can be subtrees, then why not the other nodes of the tree? So, you know, Alice, you know, gives to Bob the money. Why? Well, the reason could be threat. Bob threatened Alice. I guess the only case that so far I've come up with that isn't taken care of is when you have the direct object. Okay.
I have a question for you. How do you do prepositional phrases in the language?
I don't think
Okay.
Can you give an example of something that I wouldn't be able to say with this? Like from what I shared so far?
Like if you say you're running to somewhere, how do you represent that? Is that
Well,
a location, for example?
That's sort of the same thing as having a direct object again.
Okay.
It would be,
So it would be the same kind of style as give to Bob there?
yeah, so it'd be like to run, I don't know, run into the park.
Okay.
And I'm doing the running. And then there's no direct object. Maybe I'll just have a special notation where you just drop it. Okay. The same as I run, there's no direct object.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. I was just curious.
I think it's sort of vaguely working, except it's working really weirdly. The autofocus is messed up.
Wait, don't drop your laptop now.
Yeah, we've been having.
Wait, just
some
put the camera on the table and then.
Well, let's just see how that works.
Okay.
That's right.
What?
That's right. What did it be?
That works for me.
We're gonna zoom in on you too.
Yes. No. Dad, I'm sick. Can you tell?
Yes.
That may be my fault.
So at least it's not completely broken.
How do you
That's
get it to
good.
focus?
It's focusing some of the time, at least.
Alright.
I'm going to show us a little bit of script.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I did take the thing off, so it's at least partially working, but this piece is broken for sure. So that's going to need to be replaced. So that's
It's the
probably.
guy you can't see in the camera frame broke it. You can't see him, so you have to.
Anyway, anyone else want to discuss further particular bits of their languages, or should we go on to Babel? Babbling about Babel?
I have something relevant to.
Please.
I wasn't going to go because I don't know how well I can explain this yet.
That's fine.
But what I will explain is my way of handling object, subject,
Please.
etc. So
Careful that first section.
but at least I'm not wearing something good. Okay, so I actually started with my orthography, and I explained a little bit of this last time.
Uh-huh.
There are three main consonant families. So okay. So these, for example, are all the bilabial consonants. This would be P, this would be a voiced P, so B, this would be a fricative, and this would be a voiced fricative, and this would be a nasal.
Is that regular across other?
Is that what?
Is that sort of system regular across other symbols as well?
Yeah, so this one's a T, this would be a D,
No, it's not focusing again. Now it's it. I'm confused.
and yeah, and this one's viewer, so it works the same way. So every noun, verb, adjective, or adverb consists of one of these consonants, a vowel, one of these consonants, a vowel, one of these consonants. And
Okay, so
So-
C.
yeah, but
Every word is that, except for
um,
like particles?
yeah, every noun, verb, adverb.
Okay.
There are consonants besides these, but these are the only consonants I'm talking about here.
Are you doing it with a triconsonantal or bivowel root?
Where it differs from that in that
Arabic.
Yeah, or Hebrew.
it differs from Arabic or Hebrew in that what can change in a word are the consonants, not the vowels. So if I don't have the vowels in my head as well as
So
the
it's a
consonants.
bivowel root.
Um,
How many vowels?
There are five vowels with their own symbols, but there are lots of diphthongs, and diphthongs are just
So you've got
any vowel that has a symbol for it is.
So you've got 25 basic roots, but if you include diphthongs for each of them, then you've got 625 roots, 25 squared, right?
Well,
Assuming that
that'd be
all,
3
you can pair up
times
any.
5 times 3 times 5 times 3.
Well, that's how many words, but I'm saying how many roots. You say you're basing it, the roots are all the two vowels, and then like in Hebrew where you've got KTB,
no.
etc.
So
You've got, instead of that, you've got vowel, vowel, and then the consonants vary to
the consonants, both the consonants and the vowels are relevant to the root, but the vowels can't change at all, whereas the consonants can change voicing or whether or not they're fricative. So,
okay, so it's like within one series.
yeah. So if this, any noun, like the lexeme for it, will be like this with.
In first form.
If it's in the subject, it will be written like this. And then for every noun, there is a corresponding verb.
Sure.
So
You can verb any noun and noun.
you can verb any noun.
Noun
So-
verb.
So if I want this noun to be a verb, I voice the middle consonant
Okay.
and.
So then
But
How many series of consonants do you have?
Any combination of these three, and it could be.
No, you've got like the T series, the
Oh, yeah,
B
there's three
series.
families.
How many? Three? There's
Yeah,
three?
bilabial, dental, and velar.
Okay, so you've got total, yeah. That's a very large root base, actually. 25 times 27 is what? Something on the order of a couple hundred?
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's quite a lot. That's good. And then within that you'll have, the vowels don't vary, right?
The vowels never vary.
Okay, so then within that you'll have 5 variations on each word. Or no, you'll have 25. No,
They're on that
25
because
times 125.
when leaving out is
Yeah, that doesn't work very well at all. My computer is way too slow for this.
Codec.
WMV.
Oh.
But I've tried ripping straight to like raw, and it's just not fast enough to keep up.
Try Huffman encoding for recording in real time, but you have to rip it afterwards.
I don't have a program that does that though.
so these are never used in forming regular words, but they're
So they're like special.
you only use them for more complex construction. So R and L you can only insert into a verb, and they handle tense and aspect.
Okay. So they're inserted in addition to the base 3 consonants. Okay.
To between a word in metaphorical sense or physical world
Okay.
sense. So
Do you mind having that explicit? Oh, like for example, it's hard to make puns if you're specifically marking things as being used in a metaphorical sense.
Well, another concept to this was that all the
Though you might not want to have puns in your language, that's perfectly understandable.
yeah, I'm not too worried about that. But at least all the first words I'm going to make up will have to do with primary human physical experiences. So all words that look like this, that are this, are things like chew, walk.
You realize
touch.
that just with that 3 consonants, 2 vowels, you can probably have a complete lexicon
Yeah.
with all words being in that form.
And I mean, most words will only need to do this. It's when you get more when you have more complex concepts that you need these things.
Okay, so you're using the other ones basically morphologically. That's fine.
And aspiration only comes in when for kind of prepositions. Okay, so if let's say the word is Bob,
Bob or the verb.
the human, and
Does it mean anything, or is it just a name?
it's a name. I'm just gonna use the same thing.
Okay, so Bob dies again, or?
I'm gonna use Alice gives.
WTF.
Okay, so for word order is very arbitrary, or in a sentence, or you can just put the most important words first, I guess. But, so if Bob is,
That would be called pragmatic word order. It does exist in natural languages.
what is it?
Pragmatic space.
Oh yeah,
world
I know.
order.
I took that from Latin and Greek because they both
Okay.
do that.
Yeah, ancient Greek. I don't know if modern Greek does.
Yeah, I don't know Latin and Greek.
Okay. Latin does it?
Mm-hmm.
No, no.
Not as much. Okay, so this is my subject, this is my verb, this is my direct object, this is my indirect. Oh no. Right? Okay.
Someone
So-
confused? Confused, ask him questions.
Yeah, please do. Because I wasn't ready to explain this.
No one ever is.
So, subject always corresponds to plosives, voiceless plosives. Verbs, verbs are voiced plosives.
For all the word?
Okay, well,
Or is it complicated?
no, I do have an answer for this. Each of these consonants has a different function for the word. So this one is the identity. This one is the, I decided to call it clause, or no, function, and this one is case.
Huh?
So if the word is a verb, this middle consonant will always be a voiced plosive.
Okay.
And if the word is
Oh, I
a
see.
noun, then this middle consonant will always be
Got it. Okay.
a plosive or fricative.
So that's corresponds to the columns. What that middle.
In another sense, that because Bob is in the subject clause, I'm also going to make this voice of it. So, and here it does, in this sentence, because of how simple it is, it doesn't really matter. But all three of these, this last consonant has to be a voiceless plosive also, because
Is it consonant harmony or something else?
no, if I had a more complex subject, like
Like if it was
the man
not
whose
phrased-
name is Bob,
Okay,
if
so
that
it
was my
not-
subject, then man would be voiceless, plosive. And every word in the subject would start with a voiceless plosive. But so then Bob would be voiceless plosive here because it's in the subject clause of the sentence. Voiceless plosive here because it is a subject, and voiceless fricative here because it is the object. It is an object within the subject clause. If it's the man, if this is man, and this is Bob, and my subject is the man whose name is Bob.
Okay.
So in Bob gives money to Alice, it's voiceless plosive. Alice is and that is that corresponds to voiced fricative. So, that's voiced fricative. Okay, all voiced fricative because it's a simple enough sentence that Alice is the absolute indirect object. It doesn't have to be any more specific than that. And money is the absolute direct object. So they're all going to be fricative and voiceless. Give is the only verb, the absolute verb, so they're all going to be voiced and passive.
Hopefully this gives the rest of you some ideas.
Oh, and modifiers are nasal. So,
Alice.
if this is, then financial would be.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a. Yeah, I think that's my full explanation.
Good. That was interesting. Yeah. Just if you have any questions or comments or similar things in your languages you're considering? No? Already asked? Okay. So, do the rest of you have, any of the rest of you have something you'd like to share or talk about or ask or etc.? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, no? Okay. In that case, well, it's 5:23, I suppose. Anyone here a Richard Discordian? No? No Discord? Discord, never mind. Okay, so last time I asked you to take a look at the first couple verses of the Babel text and try to figure out what the concepts involved in are and the grammatical relations involved are. How many of you actually managed to do that, to be honest? 1? Okay. That's what class is for, I suppose. We don't have homework, so. Actually, no, springboard. Unless you want. But the first sentence is, and the whole earth was the end of one speech. Or to put it in modern English, everyone's saying language. All over the world. Obviously, the sentence I just said and the one that's in the King James edition of Genesis are two fairly different sentences in terms of both the vocabulary and in terms of the grammar and such. Can any of you think of other ways to express the same, perhaps in Yodic English? That's fine. The idea is just to sort of have rough ideas of how this might translate.
Just getting from King James vocabulary, also have up here.
Good.
The whole earth was of one language and of one. Getting from there to everyone on earth spoke the same language. We say that there was one people of the same language, or one people of the same manner of speaking.
Like one tribe defined by...
One tribe defined by one speech. One
Okay.
way of speaking.
So do you have like an existential verb? There existed this one tribe defined by their speech, or
Yeah, I guess it would be. I didn't actually try to incorporate that into my language. I just I'm spitballing, but just that there is a tribe. A tribe or a group of people are defined by a common language, and that there was no other in use at that time that anybody cared.
what grammatical elements are you using in that one sentence? Like morphemes, clauses, or adjectival relationships, or Counts or et cetera, et
Yeah,
cetera.
you are making an assertion that there existed in the past, and you may be saying it
Now
as
you
a
have
fairy tale
tense.
because there are some languages that mark things that are fairy tales in a different way that marks things that actually happened. Yes, I know. So there are sort of, but I have the Campanile right behind me, don't I? That's awesome.
You have what?
Well, I was like to be
Campanile?
framed somehow in the shop with like my face and then the Campanile.
Except that the campanile is not visible and you're all.
Anyway, I like to look at them. So there are some languages that mark sort of the veracity or the reliability of what's being said. And in this case,
Yeah,
if you were talking about the Bible and something where you're saying this definitely happened, this is a claim that people have made, we mark it in one way. If you were saying this is a fairy tale that happened a long time ago, and I heard it from someone who heard it from someone who heard it from someone, then you would mark it in an entirely different way.
A friend of my friend.
Exactly. And certainly for a
Honest. It's really happened. There are puppies for sale. Or et cetera, yeah.
and certainly if it's a spoken language as opposed to a written language, then or a spoken language without an orthography, then if there is no way to pass down a written history, then that's sort of, I can see the value of that sort of a variety marking, for want of better or whatever.
That's what it was called. There is a word for it. I'm forgetting.
Anyway, but there is a tribe.
Yeah.
That inherent in the note of the word tribe is as we're choosing to define it as a language, whatever it happens to be, the tribe is defined by a single language, that a tribe is a group of people who speak one language.
So that's just part of the word.
It's sort of an integral part of semantics of the word.
So there was this tribe.
Yes, defined as a group of people who speak the same language. That's
Sure.
unstated. Well, I guess in that case, you would say just one. There was one tribe, a single tribe. There were no others.
So you do somehow express this as sort of elusive existence.
Right. There were no others.
How do you do that? Is this existence exclusive or all-encompassing statement, or is there some other adverb? There was only one.
If you look at the second verse is, and it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found the land of Shinar and they dwelt there. So that implies they were someplace. They were someplace to be.
Somewhere else.
They moved and now they're here.
Yeah, they moved to Shinar, or whatever the analogous place is.
Wherever Shinar happens to be, whatever we decide to call it.
Yeah, they moved somewhere.
In terms of saying that the tribe language is the only tribe, making that kind of an assertion, how you would think about saying that in a formal way.
Quenya people are bidding us adieu. Class. Wait, how many of you are in the Quenya class? Just you three? Okay. Have fun.
But I'll put it in your person.
This focus is still fucked up. I wonder if I can fix this. Continue.
My close up. No, God, no.
Do you have any count words in this? In English, you've got one language, one speech. In Japanese, these might be different words, or they might have count words. Do the rest of you count words are? No? So, like, in English, how would you say one word? One word, right? One person. Person. In other languages, Chinese, do you know how to say that in Chinese? Yeah.
There are many ways to say that.
I met one person, or just one person.
Oh yeah, I know where you stand.
Ega
There's
versus
somewhere between one and the person, and one something person.
yeah, and that something is called a count word, which